Hello and welcome. I am going to start a new series of videos on how to identify the horse that you want in the Breyer mystery bags. This is a new gig that Breyer's been doing where they send out these mystery bags where you can't see which horse is inside, and if there's a particular horse that you want, this will hopefully teach you how to find it. So I'm going to start this series with the DreamWorks Spirit Riding Free Mystery Horse Series 2. And this series, most of the series have a picture on the back. These are all of the horses that you could find in this bag. This is the possibilities. There is usually a chaser or a mystery horse. And the chaser or mystery horse in this case is a silhouette. I believe this is the correct silhouette for this mold. It will be the Spirit with the war paint. And so it is helpful to know if you are after the chaser if the silhouette is correct. Not on all blind bags is the silhouette identifying correctly the horse that you're looking for. So if you're searching for that chaser, make sure to check ahead of time. So my first step when I get one of these bags is I hold them all like this so I can see the possibilities of the horses that are in the bags. Second step, identify how the horse is oriented in the bag. Typically they will come legs down, and so very gently, because you don't want to break them, you want to identify where the legs are. So in this case, yes, my legs are down. They're pokey, outy, individual little legs poking out here and there. So I can identify these are the legs. I follow the legs up and I identify the barrel or the main body of the horse. I can squeeze a little harder on this. So this is my body. This is the top line of the horse. Next, I want to feel out to identify there is a mane or a head and a tail. Since this is a blind bag, I do not know how the horse is oriented. So either of these could be the head or the tail, but in this case, I'm going to say I'm hanging on to the head and the tail. So now I've oriented myself. I can start my process of elimination. The first thing is feeling these legs gently. They are not heavy. They are not thick, so it is not the Clydesdale. They are also fairly narrow base. And so it is not the Rainer. So I have eliminated these two. Next, the legs are in action. They're kind of running. They are bent, so it is not this horse. So I've eliminated these three. Next, I'm going to follow my way back up to the barrel and out. I'm going to feel the pokey, outy top bits. And I'm going to identify, in this case, off to my left here where my thumb is, this is the neck, because I can feel that there is a mane sticking up from the neck. So I can feel that there is a neck, I can feel there's a crease, and then I can feel something sticking out above that. So I can eliminate all of the horses who do not have sticky uppy manes. So these 5 horses have all been eliminated. So now I've narrowed it down to these 3 who you can see have kind of flowing manes. So if this is the neck and the head, this is the tail. I'm going to feel for the shape of the tail. In this case, the tail is bent, so it is not sticking straight out. Like these, it is not sticking straight out like this one. It has a curve to it. So if I come off the top of the butt and I come down, the tail is actually curved here. So using my process of elimination, this guy has a curved tail, a sticky uppy mane. Let's do just one more quick step for an identifier, and I'm back here at the mane and the head. I come down, this is where his muzzle is, and right here, so his muzzle is here, less than a centimeter away, this is a leg. And again, that's an identifier of this horse. So his mane and his leg are in very close proximity to each other. His legs are in action. He has a curvy tail, sticky uppy mane, and a head right next to a leg. So I'm going to say that this blind bag has this horse. Drum roll, please. I can only do this once. Let's see. It is indeed Mr. Sticky Uppy Mane. You can see how the mane comes up off. You can see the head is right next to that leg. The legs are in action, and that tail curves. So after using my identifiers, I was able to see which horse was in that bag. Let's see what we do with this one. So again, I'm kind of starting at the bottom. I can feel legs, I can feel a body. In this case, this horse feels fairly identifiable because, like I said, the first thing that I feel with the legs is kind of the base of the legs. He is very wide compared to, say, this one. See how skinny that package is? This package is much wider. That is a hallmark of this reining horse. So I'm going to tentatively identify just from identifying the legs. And again, they're kind of bent. So just like this guy, I'm going to follow him up. He has a fairly substantial body. And I'm going to follow out to the head and the tail. So in this case, the head, well, I don't know which is which actually. This feels like a head because I can feel a neck, and then I can feel it coming down to a muzzle down here. And I'm going to say this is the tail, and this is another identifier for this reining horse because that tail is really short. He sits back on his legs and his tail. So some of these guys have nice long tails. He actually has a pretty short tail because he's sitting on it, and it's squiggly. And so if I'm feeling back here, I can feel that that tail is very short and it's kind of curved very hard, which is a identifier. Everybody else's tail is either long and flowing or it pokes straight out. And so I'm going to say that this is going to be his head. This is that squiggly tail, and this is his base down here. So I'm going to say this is the reining horse. Drum roll, please. Let's see what we got. Oh no, I was wrong. It is the Clydesdale. So in this case, what got me was the base wide. And remember I said base wide, very sticky outy tail, but I did not confirm that these legs were not thick. See how his legs are fairly skinny and his legs are pretty thick. So make sure that you follow each step correctly or you'll end up with the wrong horse. So curvy tail, head looks fairly similar, but these legs are definitely, that's what gave him that base wideness, was that his legs were so wide. So make sure you follow this step by step or you're going to end up with the wrong horse. So let's see what I do on this last one. So start at the bottom. I can feel legs. They are skinny legs. The legs are in action. They are bent. Follow it up to the body. I can feel a nice body here. Feeling out to a mane and a tail. This guy has a sticky uppy mane and fairly identifiable. This is basically just straight out. So that is most likely him, but let's finish. So again, I'm going to feel the legs. The legs are skinny. I'm going to feel the legs for width. The legs are narrow. I'm going to follow up to the body, identify my tail, which is sticking out, but also some of these guys have fairly sticky outy tails. In this case, he has a mane that is sticking up, more like this guy. And like I said, this tail comes, if this is his back leg and his tail is way up here, they are completely separated. This guy has a straight out tail, but it is very close to that back leg. So I'm going to say that this is this horse with that sticky outy tail, the sticky uppy mane, and action legs. So let's find out. Ah, look at that tail. So there we have it. That is the running horse with the tail that is far away from the legs, base narrow, sticky outy mane, and there you have it. So following these little helpful shortcuts, and I'll do a couple more weeks to different bags to show you the differences. Good luck and hope you find the horse you're looking for.